Hello, welcome you all. My name is Ana Stephanie Munoz. I'm a transformational coach and expert on stress and anxiety management. Thank you for joining us to our live today. It will last around 40 minutes, and we're going to talk about getting to the golden zone, moving from hustle to flow. You can watch this on our different channels, Facebook and YouTube mainly, and soon we will have it on Instagram as well. So be ready. If everything is okay, the connection, the sound, please comment on below where are you listening in the world and put your thumbs up, so the like. Our guest today is a clarity coach and CEO of Buzzbox. If you want to listen to our next lives, I'm going to leave you the link there so you can sign up. And every week we have a different live, always related to stress and anxiety management and how to live a better life. My company, Excede tu Potencial, we are a virtual coaching platform where we learn to manage our mind and emotions through self-knowledge and self-awareness, through different programs, workshops, retreats, and tools that help professionals, successful professionals as yourself, to discover your potential and live a balanced life. Discover, unleash, and exceed your potential. That's our motto. So, as an expert in stress management, one of the things that's very important is to have a life purpose. And tomorrow we're doing a virtual life purpose retreat. There's still some spots available. It's a very small group. So if you want to join, I'm going to leave you the link as well on the chat box so you can join. It will be in Spanish, however, but I hope you can join us. It will be amazing, life-changing, definitely. So with no further ado, I want to introduce you to our special guest today, Meredith Vaish. Meredith is a recovering overdoer whose own burnout forced her to quit a 16-year career at Stanford University. Upon leaving, she embarked on a year-long sabbatical where she discovered that pause isn't the absence of doing, it's the most powerful thing there is. Now she's on a mission to help other busy, high-achieving women break free from the overwhelm of being always on so that they can channel their energy away from the hustle and the proving, pleasing, the perfectionism into creating a life they really love. Meredith teaches her system, the Creator Compass and Energy Map, to help women understand how they're showing up energetically so they can leave behind overwhelm and burnout to create joyful businesses and lives. I'm going to leave her contact details below at the end of this live, but I'm so happy to have Meredith here. It's an honor, Meredith. Welcome to our live today.
Yay! Thank you, Stephanie. I love this topic and I love all the work you're doing around this topic in the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's so excited to have you here because we work in the same field and we know what burnouts feels like.
Yeah.
We know the struggle our customers live every day and how they want to live that, crazy life.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult, right? To know like which path and how to do it and with all our limiting beliefs and paradigms that we have, it's very complicated, right?
It can be, absolutely. Old patterns are hard to even notice, like you don't even know you're swimming in it. And
Exactly.
so, yes, I've got some hopefully tips to share today that will help people recognize maybe where they're at and some options they have to move in a different direction.
Excellent. I love that. I love that. And I always like beginning with the audience. So to see,
Yeah.
like their engagement and I love when they make questions. So you have the opportunity now to do all the questions you want to Meredith. But the first question goes to you guys, to the audience. And I would like to know, how do you transform that negative energy into positive energy when you have a bad day or you have a situation that's really, really complicated? What do you do, guys? I would love to hear what you do. And while you comment, Meredith, I would like to ask you if you can share your energy framework and so people can.
Yes. Okay. So this is a great kind of foundation for our conversation. So my background is as a stress ball, like a type A overachiever. I just fed on stress to keep me productive. I'm also incredibly creative and probably highly emotional. So I was kind of all over the map with my energy, and it was really unpredictable. And I was looking for a way to map out just the different energy zones that that are available, and how I can then start creating a path toward that, what I call the golden zone, right? And I think we all know what the golden zone is. Sometimes it's a very fleeting experience, but it's a feeling of flow, connection, creativity, possibility. It's kind of when all your helpers show up and you feel like you can do anything, you feel amazing, and you feel restored and fueled. You don't feel exhausted and depleted. So that's kind of the golden zone. That's where we're all heading. There's 3 other zones in this map that I have found my clients navigate through. I'll start with the 2 that we're not going to cover today. One is called struggle. I think we've all been there. When you feel like the world is against you and you're just defeated, that is that struggle energy. There is a way to get out of struggle. We won't talk about it today, but it's important to know that that's sometimes where your energy is. Exactly. The other one that I noticed in my clients is autopilot. Who's been on autopilot? Right? You're just coasting. You're asleep at the wheel. Maybe you're kind of hiding. Maybe you don't want to get a whole lot of attention because you're just keeping it on the download for whatever reason. You don't want to be seen. So those are the 2 energies that are at the base of my model. The one that we're going to talk about today, because I think when it comes to stress, it's the most likely energy zone that you're in, and that is hustle. And hustle is you kind of have a love-hate relationship with hustle, right? So some people are really proud of their hustle. They're like, yeah, I got it done. I made it happen. I just, I'm rewarded for being amazing. I happen to be exhausted, depleted, overcommitted, and, tired, beyond soul tired. So that hustle energy is where I have spent most of my life. And because it is so rewarded, it's like a badge. Like if you have a busyness badge, you definitely get rewarded for having a lot of hustle. So the only thing I want to add to that, and I know that's a long description.
No, it's amazing.
There are 2 dials. This is all you need to remember. If you're in hustle and you want to get to golden zone, there are 2 dials that you need to consider. One is trust. So when you're in hustle, you don't have trust. You are in control mode. You are trying to control everything because you don't either trust it'll work out, or you don't trust that basically it'll work out. The second dial is what I call self-forgetting. So when you're in hustle mode, you forget yourself. You forget your own needs. You're totally outward motivated. There's like rules and deadlines and expectations, and you are not on the list. Just your output is on the list. So think about self-honoring and trusting as your dials to play with when you're trying to get out of that hustle energy.
Excellent. I love that. No, another thing that came up for me when I'm in hustle mode, and I don't know if you relate in the audience, is that you get addicted to it.
Oh, yes. Yes. It's like a little buzz, right? Yeah. And I also get addicted to that just biologically, that kind of feeling of
the dopamine.
Yes. It's like, it's a go, go, go. And it feels like you've got laser focus and it feels really productive. And yet you're using up all your cortisol. Like your body is in total off the chart mode. And what happens is we take that for granted. And sometimes we think we can't be productive without that sort of, excited, accelerated, intense buzz. Exactly. But we got to bring it down because our little bodies are going to burn out.
Exactly, because that's exactly when it becomes chronic stress, the over production of cortisol, is when we're closer to burnout.
For sure. Yeah, been there.
Me too. Exactly. The problem is we don't even know you don't even know
You
you're
don't
there.
recognize it because it's how we're wired or how we have been wired. But there are other ways to wire ourselves.
Definitely. And that's part of that's the reason why we're talking today about this, because it doesn't need to be hard, it doesn't need to be difficult, and it doesn't need to be painful, that you achieve the point where you get sick to do a change. I mean, if you're listening to this live, you can do the change now, and it doesn't need to be hard, right?
Yes.
Excellent.
100%.
Well, I want to ask the audience, they've been very, very quiet. Have you taken a moment to appreciate your peace, and like those moments when you just, I don't know, look at outside the window or look at a tree, a flower or something, and just, be there, mindful at that. And what do you do? I mean, how are those moments for you? If you can share with us, because it'll be amazing, because we all have those moments, but unfortunately with this crazy life that we're living currently, those moments are scarce. They don't happen that often. So what do you do? And while you guys answer that, Meredith, I would like you to tell us like about the patterns. You just mentioned them, but a little bit further, like the patterns of pleasing, proving, perfectionism, everything that leads to burnout.
Yeah. Oof. So those are the big three: pleasing, proving, and perfectionism. I find that my clients and myself, I mean, this is my story as well. There's this need to prove ourselves and please the people around us and never make a mistake, right? So we are incredibly judgmental on ourselves. There's this high standard that frankly no human is capable of meeting, and yet we hold ourselves to it all the time. And if we ever deviate from that, we are so heavy-handed. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I'm terrible. This is where the self-honoring comes in, because to me, that's self-betrayal. I mean, there's a lot of such heavy negative messages that we send ourselves. We deny our humanness. We deny our our vulnerability, our authenticity. We're just constantly geared up to achieve. And that is a dangerous energy to be in, 24/7.
Exactly. Because it leads to burnout, as we were mentioning before. And it's complicated because sometimes, especially I think the most difficult moments is when we're doing something we love, because we don't even we have this positive stress, this eustress, but that moves like very, very slightly to the negative one, to distress. And we don't even notice it because we continue with the hustle and the craziness and the expectations in our mind, because it's where our mind is all the time. You have to do this. You're the checklist, the never-ending checklist.
Such a checklist. I just actually wrote a blog about the difference between little r relaxing and big R relaxing. And it kind of reminds me of the question you asked your audience, which is how do you find your peace? There's the way you big R relax or really restore yourself is very different from just the distractions. And I think a lot of us have leaned on our distractions, but we hope that they restore us. And then at the end of the day or the next morning, we're just I'm back in the same place, right? So for us, my husband's a big executive, and, we watch TV at night. We try to wind down to TV, and I'm never surprised, but I think he is. He's I woke up and I'm still tired, right? And that's because TV's not restoring. TV's a fun distraction, and yay for TV. But, if you really want to restore, Last night I came into my office just because I was feeling extra heavy, and I did some stillness, did some mindfulness. I had to listen to it because I can't do it on my own, through an app
Yeah,
called
me too.
Timer.
Me
Yeah,
too.
right.
I
Because
get
I'm
you.
kind
Me
of
too.
fidgety. But yeah, stillness, being in nature, even just noticing your body, doing a body scan. I mean, these are not revolutionary ideas, but maybe it might help someone realize, oh, I'm expecting a spa day to recover, but spa days don't restore. Spa days are just nice, fun entertainment. You know, I love them too, but really restoring is connecting with your soul,
Yeah.
connecting to your version of the bigger picture and your meaning in the world. So that's where I would recommend someone go if they're really looking to get out of that kind of hustle hamster wheel.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's amazing, but going to an ashram in India for like a week,
Mm.
that's
Oh,
a
wow.
restorative because that,
Well,
you
yes.
you practice everything to restore yourself.
Yes.
The food, massage, yoga or movement, different
Yep.
movements, and be in nature and be quiet.
Quiet.
'Cause,
Yeah.
quiet
That's the
time
thing.
is what we need.
I think just not talking and keeping the stimulation down, like I can't, when I go for a walk, I can't listen to podcasts. I don't want to listen to music. Like it's like literally, can I just hear my own thoughts? Can I be my own authority? Can I just block off all that stimulation and just, what do I think? What do I feel? What's present for me?
And what are you looking at? Like the
Yes.
smells, like if you're
Sensory.
in nature, and if you're just walking just down the street, just see, like the people and the cars and everything that's just there, right?
There's always something. In fact, I had a mentor tell me, because she would meditate on the feeling of abundance and infiniteness. And so she would look at the leaves on trees. And, you can do that in an urban environment. You just look at wow, look at how many leaves, and just think of that number. Look at the traffic, think of the number. Like it's exponential, and it's so awe-inspiring when you connect yourself to that, huge, vast, available potential that's out there.
Yeah, no, and just your thoughts. Now, it reminded me the other day. I was thinking like, okay, now we move in cars, but 100 years ago or 150 years ago, I mean, we complain that it takes us half an hour to get somewhere, but
Right.
how long did it take 150 years
week.
ago?
Yeah,
With a horse or by foot.
Yeah, well, and I think that has to do also with the stress levels increasing, is that the speed of our life has increased. And I think if we don't intentionally take a break and take a pause from that, I think we can get wrapped up into that little zzz, and we need to just literally stop, go inside, check in. What's up for me? What am I present to?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think it's when you're not used to it and you want to start. I remember when I started, when I was in corporate, it's very, very hard.
Very hard.
You don't
It's so
even
foreign.
And that's when people tell you, I can't meditate.
Right.
And after a lot of work, it's not about meditating. But when you start, you have that expectation of, I want to float meditating,
Yes, I know. It's so romantic. I'll give you one big idea that for me is a wonderful technique for someone who's in hustle, because hustle by definition means you're not taking care of yourself. You're very outward focused and outcome focused. So just even switching your attention, you don't have to meditate, just switch your attention to, how am I feeling? What's up for me right now? What do I need? Because when you're in hustle and you're a high achiever, you're not used to you're a robot. You're like automaton. I'm just doing the thing. So for me, it was so revelatory to just say, what do I need right now? Sometimes I need soothing, right? Sometimes I need rest. I need comfort. And if I can give myself those things, I don't have to then go get it through food or through alcohol or all the other sort of fixes that we do.
Mhm.
Just sense, what do I need? And go give it to yourself. Maybe you just need to go outside and look at a tree. Maybe you need to
Mhm.
call a friend. Maybe you need to take a nap. Like,
Mhm.
just honoring yourself, I think, is the biggest tip I can give you to
Yeah.
get out of hustle and into that golden zone.
And if you don't know what to do or you connect to what you need, just breathe.
Yeah. Oh, there's that. Sometimes the simple stuff's just too dang hard.
Yeah, it's hard because you don't even think
You're
about it.
holding your breath the whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Freeze. Ugh. You're always braced, you know? Like when I started to notice, why am I like, I'm braced like something's going to hit me. I'm in that clenched energy. Yeah. It's like, oh, wow. I could just take a deep breath and let my belly kind of relax a little. Oh, that feels good. Yeah. Just
Exactly.
somatically, I think makes a big difference.
Exactly. And you are moving your energy, and that's it's important that you move your energy in different directions. So, it flows through you, whatever energy you don't need anymore. And you kind of like refocus your energy to something more in alignment with yourself.
Yeah. More restoring.
Restoring, that's the word. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. And I would like to ask the audience, they've been very, very quiet. I would love for some
Come
answers.
on.
Come on. Well, what do you do to let things flow? Good or not so good? Sometimes, not too good things happen, but what do you do to let things just flow and continue the direction, even if they're not good? What do you do, guys? And while you answer that, Meredith, I would like to know that if you can talk to us about the need we have to control things. And you already mentioned it, but we haven't go a little bit. I would like to go more in depth. And it has to do with honor yourselves, right?
Yes. Oh, so juicy. Yeah, this can be a topic for a whole webinar. Yeah, this control thing is, how do I say it? There's control for like output, and I think that's why we're so good at control, is because we've been so conditioned to manage all the things so that the output is perfect, right? There comes that perfectionism thing.
Yeah.
What we don't realize is that the control is based on these rigid rules and basically outside thinking, right? So this notion of how can I go internal? What do I feel internally, right? Not just, what's my human need, right? I was just working with a coach who does dance movement as part of her expertise. And I took on this song. The assignment was just dance to any song that feels right to you. And so I took on Beyonce's Girls Who Run the World, Girls. I don't know if you know this song, but it's like, what's that? High octane, powerful, and I was like, Roy, I'm a goddess. I'm a boss lady, I'm doing all the things. And those are fun energies to play with, those intense kind of manic, proving energies. But what I realized is halfway through the song, I didn't realize I hadn't taken my inhaler. And so I'd lost my breath.
No.
But did I stop? No, because I'm a hustler. Like I'm always, never let them see you sweat, like make it happen, stay professional, look the part. So all these rules were in operation. So I did not stop my dance. I took it down a notch because I couldn't breathe. But this is a classic example of what happens to us when we deny our human, our little animal who just wants to take a breath. And I was like, no, override it. No, we're going to finish the song in the most perfect way because that's who I am. And that's the control that I have over how people see me. I don't want to be seen as weak. I don't want to be seen as needing something.
Or that you couldn't do it at the end, or you didn't achieve it.
That's not an option. So here I was barely having breath. And it was such an important lesson for me because control is about overriding your animal. And you don't get very far. When you keep overriding your little human animal, you get burned out, you get tired, you get sick, you get angry. You're no fun to be with. So in this kind of, I guess what I'd invite your listeners to think about is, who's winning here? And what am I fighting? And why am I fighting? Right? What about just taking my little animal and helping her take a breath, have a moment, sip some water? What's so wrong with soothing her and being kind to her and asking her what she needs,
Exactly.
as opposed to just like, soldiering on and barreling through and overpowering her. And that's what I think control does.
Definitely. I love the way you describe it, because it's a different perspective of how, because we even think control is good.
Yeah. Yeah. We've been taught that.
And I think it is, but we haven't been taught the wrong way of how to control. We're controlling to the outside instead of to the inside.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why in the model, the two vectors are, can you go from sort of that toil and control to trust? Can you move? Can you make things less high stakes? Can you see an opportunity where things are going to resolve in a way that's beneficial to you, instead of always bracing for what's the bad thing that might happen? So that's kind of an exercise you can do. And then on the vertical axis, it's really all about self-honoring. So instead of self-forgetting, or frankly, self-abandonment. I mean, I think I was self-abandoned for years in my 20s and 30s. How can I put myself back on the map? How can I care for this beautiful body and soul that I have, and not just be focused on the outside gains? Really honor, what do I need right now? What do I need right now? And that's a practice that helps you into that golden zone.
Yeah. And it's a practice every day for the rest of your life.
Yes, it is. Some days are better than others. Yesterday wasn't a good day, but then at the end of the night, I said, okay, let me just go sit in my body for a little bit and just soothe her. I don't have to change her, fix her. There's nothing wrong. I just need to hold her for a little bit and let her know it's okay.
Exactly.
There we go.
I love that. Oh, it's been amazing. I love everything you have taught us today.
Oh,
it's great. I'm sharing your contact details with the audience and the energy quiz. Can you talk a little bit about the energy quiz?
Oh, that would be brilliant. So if you are someone who's wondering if you're in hustle, if you're in struggle, if you're in autopilot, and how you can more consistently get to that golden zone, I have a quiz you can take. It's on my site. It's at pauseboxco.com. And the energy quiz pops up. It's a quick one. It's like 5 minutes. And you get a detailed map of the zones. And then you also get a bonus guide about what are the specific remedies you can take, because it's really different. If you're in struggle, you need to do different things to get out of struggle, to get into the golden zone, than if you, say, are in hustle. They're just a little bit different energies, and they require just a little different kind of activities. So I have a huge amount of ideas for you to kind of help you up level and raise your vibration so that you feel like you can be in that golden zone more often than not.
Amazing. I love that. I will do it. I haven't done it, so I will do it as well.
Check it out. See if you're a hustle. I have a suspicion.
I might. Well, I'll let you know. Yeah. So it's been amazing having you here today, Meredith. I think you've taught us so much, and such a good, different perspective of how to see this craziness we live in. Because sometimes when we're in it, sometimes we see it, sometimes we don't.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't know how to, kind of grab it. Like, where do I start?
Where do I start? Where am I?
Where am I? And I think what you taught us today, it's very simple and very, we are able to start doing something different, to start changing this and not falling into, this hamster wheel of going directly to burnout, because we are in a hamster wheel, unfortunately, especially if we are high achievers and we work in corporate. We have that, the whole environment.
It reinforces it, for sure.
Exactly. And I've been, yeah, nowadays I've been meeting people that are not leaving corporate because I think we need that, but
Mhm.
are changing the way
Mm.
they're moving in corporate. And I love
Ah,
that because
beautiful.
it needs to change.
It needs to change.
I truly believe that doing less is achieving more. But
Ah,
doing less doesn't mean being lazy. And
mm-mm.
that's the thing people
No.
still like struggle with the term. But it's like being more effective and efficient and focusing
Yes.
on what I call your genius zone. Like if my genius is doing X, I will focus on that and not doing Y,
Mm.
C, A, B, C, whatever. And there
Yes.
will be other people that can focus on that. And we can
Yes.
achieve much more with the resources, the correct resources, with the correct team members and everything. So
Yes. I love
it
that
does,
vision.
yeah, and it doesn't need to be like you have 100 people in an organization. It can be a very small one, but
Yeah.
focusing on what you're good at problem solving.
Yeah. Yeah. And potency, right? So we do a
Exactly.
lot of activity, but what if that activity was really potent? What if it was really soaked in powerful, intentional energy? That's how we get things done.
Exactly. And it's leading from a more advanced conscious level. I think we're moving in that direction, but still not there. We're still,
A lot of
there's
default energy out of there.
exactly, exactly. And part of our work is to help people to get to to that consciousness of achieving more, but doing
Yeah.
less in a more productive way, I would say.
Yes, exactly. I call it a creator energy. It's when you are creating your life, you are creating your destiny, you are in the driver's seat in a really intentional, soul-guided way. So that's the energy I want to bring to the world, is that creator energy.
I love that. I love that. And you're already doing it. I'm so happy.
Thank you. So
So,
much
guys,
fun.
it was a pleasure having you here, Meredith, and all the audience. Next week, we will do another live. So, stay tuned to the topics. And thank you very much, Meredith. It was an honor having you here, and I had so much
A
fun.
pleasure. Great time. Thank you, Stephanie.
I don't know if you have some final words to the audience so we can close this
Oh my
live.
gosh, I've had so many words. What's left? Mm. I think the biggest insight that you can take away around that hustle energy is that it's an invitation. If you're noticing that you are really burning out and depleting yourself, it's an invitation to go inward and really honor what do I need? How can I trust that everything's going to work out and all is available to me?
Amazing. I love that. I love that. Thanks so much, Meredith. Thank
A
you,
pleasure.
guys, the audience, for being here and wishing you an amazing weekend. Take care.
Take care.